Hi, good morning. I've gone fishing. Catch you later. I'm out. I don't know why all the clams. Clam it up. Points of no return. But it's the Hermit card too. Follow your curiosity. I wrote a few things down. Beyond bypassing, new neuro networking, mandatory, pertinent. I'll never see what they see. Follow your curiosity. I'm in my head. Look, it's the wheel. It's the Hermit. New friendly formula. Beans, canned beans. Like once you open the can, you can't go back. That's what a lot of this is. Points of no return. Once you start, you can't stop. How do I put it? I don't know. I don't want anybody to show up and ask questions today. I've got too many questions all of my own. Let's just see what's. I'm just gonna see. Creating things, connecting things, things opening up, bringing things back to life, following callings, harvesting things, getting over things, joyride. Follow your curiosity on a joyride. Emotional experience if things backfire, but secrets are here. Is that why all the clamming today? Secrets that create a flood. But the watchtower. I don't know if you can see any of these things down here, maybe. I like the space, I like the set, I like the view. It's just a slow connection here. This is a 9. This is a 9 year, and we're wrapping up a 9 year, and we're in December of the 9th year. 9, like 2025 reduces to 9, right? So ending of cycles, so that new things can begin. But this watchtower thing, like the panopticon, like people keeping things in check if they know that they're being watched. Be gone to the watchers. And then back into the studio again. Does this have something to do with alchemy? It could be. Alchemy has definitely been showing up. And then if I like bring you into my research zone in here, bear with me. It is a little bit slow this morning, but we're trying to recover a lot of information. Is this gonna let me do it? It's not gonna let me. Okay, it's not gonna let me get on here now that we're started. Of course it won't. That's fine. Maybe we'll ease into it. I've had a lot of thoughts too of like technology versus the more analog side of things, or logging information. maybe this will let me in. I don't know if I've lost any of the information here or not, because I've had my book down. No, there you are. It's all here. Of course. Let's see. Here's something that was pieced together that I think might help to tie all of these elements together as I'm like shifting gears into things. Good morning. If you do have questions, you can ask. I'm going to do my best to watch the comment feed. Let's say this kind of slow. Mapping the neurocognitive dynamics of radical self-healing and generative states. We're talking about aesthetic perception, right? Visual pleasure is also something that came to mind. Points of no return. It's like once you know, you can't unknow, right? Learning to see things a little bit differently. What's my research proposal? Part of it. Where's this other point? I think it's here. No, not that one. Bear with me this morning. I don't know if I can find it. I've been in this, I haven't been feeling great, but not like feeling bad either. Liminal processing states. Mapping the inner universe. I don't know if there's something to that element to like creating maps. You can kind of see, I'm going to say, you can kind of see my setup behind me, but I'm not sure exactly what that means. I got into the same deck last time. Departure is here. Departure, accusations, but dismay, but like casting out all of the things. So that weird telephone thing keeps going on too. Points of no return. Information disseminated can't be taken back. It just kind of washes out all of the things. Witchcraft and the affair. That's interesting. Enticement. I keep getting this, I guess it's a frustration or feeling or an anticipation of where to put down the boundary lines or where to cut people off, cut certain things off, or anticipating certain things. Maybe this is one of those things that keeps popping up too, where somebody just wants to come in and take something that's good from you just because you have it, or like, how do I say it without really saying it, without putting my own inner frustrations in? Because more than anything, this like just be gone and getting out all of the unhealthy toxic connections. Delirium is there, so like all the delirious people who think that they can just kind of come in and do whatever they want, or who want to take what's yours, so that we can focus on the pursuit. Service and repair, self-service, self-repair, service to others, service to community. There's repair there too. Important to repair things. Tools, supplies, electrical. I have transformation toolkit, tool stuff started and available. This shit is bananas. BANANAS. Okay, there's a few of you who kind of jumped in here for a second, so bear with me because it went from like this very quiet thing to all of a sudden we're uncovering and seeing things that are hidden beyond the veil. Strong boundaries are going to be really important as far as whatever the pursuit is. Points of no return, because again, once you start, you can't stop. There's that departure part of it. More about repair, more about repair. Things in disrepair. Go repair your studio. The portal. That's funny. Going into another space. Going into another space and time. Hysterics are there. Is that kind of what I'm sensing? Maybe a little bit. As far as the noise in the monkey chatter, like there's distortions in the field, or again, there's maybe a cord or a tie that you're cutting off, or something that you're cutting away. That is going to try and undo some of this recent luck stuff. I really want to call it out and I want to acknowledge it directly. But at the same time, like, I don't want to invite in things that aren't invited, because I feel like there are things that are inviting themselves. I'm just trying not to call attention to the things that are trying really hard to call attention to themselves. I hesitate because I've just been through a lot and don't want to waste time and energy on situations that don't serve me. Oh, let me clear that one. Sorry about that. We're moving some energy. You've totally guacked this. We can do this. We can do this together here. It's fine. No means no. no means no. And it's okay to say no. No is a full answer. I'm not cooking Thanksgiving anymore. Not. At least in this traditional sense and way that I've always done it. I want to gift and co-create that energy into something new, something of my own. Because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of having to, let's see, there's like a worry and stress over unnecessary competition. That's another theme that has been popping up. Yeah, and it's there. When you are gifted or handed an opportunity, or you have something unique, maybe that other people don't have, that's where you get all this conflict and all these barriers, or this resistance, or people trying to block and prevent these good new things from coming in for you. This is always such an interesting card for me, as far as how and when it comes up. So give me a moment to kind of I guess detach. I was going to say separate something here, but that might have something to do with it too. Separating truth from fiction, separating the fiction from the truth. Having to put up strong boundaries and protections to, let's say, protect the garden. And protect what you have cultivated, what you've built, what you have, I don't even want to say built, because there's something maybe inorganic about that. I want to say unnatural. The behavior of building itself is natural. Like the difference between awaiting the growth of trees versus waiting the building of a structure, like brick by brick by brick. I think there's something here about having to be on your best behavior, leading by example, doing unto others as you'd have them do unto you. And let's say not carrying around that chip, or not carrying around that voice in your head. Like the doubt and the distractions. Like, no, you can't do that. Point of no return. And that's why there's going to be resistance, because they know once you begin that transition and that transformation, there's no going back. And then so it's the domino effect of, I want to say, forcing change, but creating opportunities of perceptual engagement that can shift the way people think about themselves and the world around them. Like that self-reflecting accountability thing. A lot of people don't want to do that self-reflecting accountability thing. They just want to take from others and fight and battle and get in that conflict and do that weird thing, right? So that they can like get up on their high horse and everything you know him, and just more of like a power struggle thing. Like those power dynamics and that like strength and justice variation, things will always balance themselves out. Interesting, because we have Death, Star, Temperance, all major arcana, thus being major points of transformation, right? And finding this emotional balance between self and external environment, because I don't know, it's like there has to be death to one relationship, or maybe a set of relationships, or like even a I can call it ego death, identity death, or identity shift too. Like it was a nice reminder to hear, like you can be more than just a mother and more than just a daughter. Like you're an actual human being underneath the roles, the societal roles and the expectations that you're supposed to fulfill. Hang on a second. Let the dogs out. We let one dog out. Oof oof. Sorry, it was bad. There's a lot of reflective and contemplative energy here, maybe today. Is that what we're picking up to? I guess so, right? Starting to see things differently, shifting things differently. But we got a problem where somebody's trying to steal something and take something to backstab you or to like shut you down with. I think changing the environment is gonna be the only way to go here. Let's look into the uncommon. We can keep kind of going through the circular Rider-Waite. I really like it because there are a lot of options and there are a lot of opportunities, and there's like something being given to you here that we just don't see, or like maybe again somebody's trying to it's that secret competition thing again. The crab bucket. The inverse of the crab maybe would be the lobster. And then I saw something about the lobster having to shed its skin or having to shed its shell. And well, the first card that came up in all of this, somebody's moving or wants to make a big move or just getting ready to big move. If you just popped on, if you're thinking about moving, move. Sorry, that was just kind of instantaneous. Sorry, not sorry. Hermits coming out of their shells. Okay, so the lobster, when it outgrows its shell, and it's vulnerable, and it's raw without its. It's very vulnerable, and it's one of I almost want to say like hunted or possessed. Like all the things in the ocean want to come and eat it because it's the tastiest. Like in these rare occasions or rare occurrences where you outgrow your shell and you have to be in that liminal space of vulnerability before the new shell can harden, or the new external shell can solidify. That's where the things are going to be most uncommon, not ordinary, remarkable, exceptional. I almost want to say dangerous. Like dangerous, right? Like look at her. She's young and youthful and carrying a baby on her back, and she's like standing on this cliff rock in the midst of the ocean. Maybe at nighttime in the dark, right? And she's got to rely on herself in this situation to get through. Like determination comes into mind. Lobsters are interesting creatures because they move backwards. So they experience and see things in a different way. In that movement backwards, it's not like they're going backwards. I mean, they're still going in a forward direction. They're just looking from a different perspective. And it's kind of that idea too of where like sometimes you have to be pulled far back to be propelled forward even faster. It's transformation. You got butterflies. It's transformation, being given a sword or an opportunity, but something through those opportunities, you still have this devilish thing that's trying to move you or get you to look in a different direction or get you to perhaps maybe see conflict where there isn't any there and resist this kind of natural, organic feeling to want to go forward and experience partnership and harmony and fulfillment, and like people who do things for all the wrong reasons, all the no reasons. Like I worked so hard to make things from scratch. Enslaved over things for 2 days for people who cheated and put in zero effort. Gave zero thanks in that like hug. Gag. And I think when the truth begins to expose itself, and you begin to see things as they really are, like you'll know how to set those boundaries, and avoid all the heartache and the discontent and the drama. Save the drama for your mama, lady. But I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I hope it was a one in which you could give forward, pay it forward, or if you're kind of the inverse of that too. If you're used to giving, always paying things forward, of being in a space of receptivity and balance for the material world. I want to say battle for truth and love, and battle for justice, and stand up for the things and do what's right, and death to this deception, or this deceptive watchtower, and this like submerging, drowning thing into that secretive affair thing that like it's interesting to me how people will justify how they hurt others intentionally, and how, again, the dismay of it all. I'm going to pull out the reading, the portal, and the studio. Okay, let's get real focused on what we are doing here in this space, so we're not just like mingling, right? Let's get real clear on what it is that we're doing, because we're waking up to the truth as things start to converge together, right? But we got to get beyond this kind of lore fan fiction thing. I don't know, like the stranger lurking in the dark. It's like now is not the time to necessarily be kind and nice to all people. Justice is here again. Justice and balance is coming into play. I think being just towards people is important, not just to be kind. Alright, this is driving me crazy. It's out of the way. Friendliness can be perceived as an open door by strangers to come into your home and destroy it from the inside out. Like, don't give a mouse a cookie. That concept comes up a lot too. Like the moment you start breadcrumbing that cookie, and you give it any sort of opening, it's gonna come in and undermine what it is that you're doing. So let's point of no return. I tell you what, in the journey, or in the path to get what I want out of life, love, partnership, I am willing to cut off all the things that threaten that in order to grow, and step into this co-creative, like with the we all do the things together with Mother Nature thing. Fill in the blanks from there, I guess. Make that story kind of work for you. Just see this theme play out again and again and again and again. Like anytime there's about to be a big transition or a big shift or some sort of initiation or something, there's always gotta be like at least one, excuse me, who's gotta try to come along and muck it all up. I'm feeling very protective. Almost like on the verge of being possessive and defensive, but there's accountable ownership in there. Ooh, truth also hurts kind of in this place too. And I think there's something about cheaters. I heard yesterday, or just something came through yesterday along the themes of we're going into the Aquarian age, or in this transition, or at this point in time. It was Carl Jung, who had mentioned that this Aquarian age would be when the darkness would expose itself. Like the trash gets to take itself out. But we are becoming enlightened, and in that enlightening, we are also being very aware, becoming very conscious of what is dark. And I think those darker motives in people are wearing out, like the ones who marry for money. And stay in these, let's say, I almost want to say prestigious, pretentious, for the facade of it all. But in that hermitude, or in that having to face and look at what is uncomfortable, or the undesirable aspects, or the imperfections, the truth. There's like humility and humbleness in there. If somebody is in that like weird competitive thing where they have to like try and be better than you with this, like, because they've somehow in their minds have created this scenario of like something that's just completely fictitious, where they need to come along and take something or whatever. Man, I had to do a lot of work around that one, I think, today, and just kind of sit with and alchemize through that energy, because that one is super thick. I want to go into a different deck. And then I think I'm going to close this off and then go into my studio today. I gotta get my fingers in some paint. And just kind of put some of this noise down in color and get it out, because there's just a listening to the picture. I don't know. I'm just kind of listening to that intuitive thing. Secrets is up there again. really, really going with that intuition and that self-healing. There's just something kind of funny afoot. I feel it. So let's just take this one slowly. And just kind of, focus on the things that are most important in this moment. I pulled Art Oracles, and I've been looking at Osho. Point of no return. Just learn to say no. Fighting is right on top. There's conflict. Fighting because of somebody else's laziness. And maybe that's one of the bigger frustrations and kind of like dense feelings, is putting in the effort, putting in lots of effort, making the bids for connection, requesting the assistance multiple times, and still being told the entitled no because somebody is lazy and doesn't want to do it. At what point do you just stop and say, you know what, that's enough? Right? I definitely hit a threshold of awareness. Suppression. And maybe what I mean by that threshold of awareness is when we want to idealize things. Hello, helicopter. Flying in an interesting route. That was weird. That feels like that observation thing too. I don't know, I'm just kind of over it, you know? Of just not wanting to go back to past lives, living life the way things have been. When we make commitments to these radical transformations and radical bits of healing, there's going with the flow, or commitments to going with the flow and that natural. Politics get in the way. Fighting happens. The laziness, creating politics and whatever. So the opposing sides of that are the integration, beyond illusion. Maybe that's what I mean by that suppression, is creating these illusory walls and wanting to see things ideally, wanting to see the best in people, when perhaps those people don't give two shits about you. Not that you shouldn't. I mean, we are the world. We are one. You should love, right? No thingness. Once of no return, no thingness. Like once it's gone, it's gone. There's no bringing it back once you burnt it. There's the source. You go back to the source for truth and re-alchemizing. There's isolation. Again, for that self-reflection about being the source. Keeps popping up. Thunderbolt. Like Kundalini and yoga and the electric current that flows up the spine, the Kundalini energy and that electricity, that connecting into energetic principles where we start to begin deeper conversations about quantum physics and consciousness and how these thought processes or thought vibrations can be intertwined into our DNA for radical self-healing. Some people can get the intense electrical shock of information and learn how to integrate it into their system and upgrade. Some people, when they come to these points of awareness or they get that lightning bolt strike thing, they get struck. I mean, it fries them, it burns them from the inside out, and everything falls and everything crumbles, and they go into like scraping for control, or I almost want to say villainism. They go into like a villain era where they have to project and deflect or try and bring somebody else down to that level with them as well. So if you're fully integrated and fighting that, rising above that, I mean, the possibilities more so are infinite there. Yesterday there were a lot of hawks, I'm sorry. I saw eagle on the card. There were like 3 of them screeching around and flying in a circle and flying in the backyard, and then after, there's just another one that flew in, and there's another one that flew into the backyard. I don't know if there's like there's gotta be a like nesting ground or something close to here. I've just never seen so many. Breakthrough is coming through. That breakthrough is a point of no return. Compromising past lives, consciousness is there, comparison is there, success is there, carrying the burdens. Let's look at our artists and kind of shift our attention towards solution and get out of this temptress, persuasive, disillusioned. Ai Weiwei comes to mind. Bicycles popped up earlier. I think there's something here about being in tandem or two, because it's not a unicycle, it's not a tricycle, it's a bicycle. They're 2 wheels spinning together to go in a certain direction. When authority says to be quiet, get a loudspeaker. Art must fight for freedom or the whole world is a prison. Some things are whole only when they shatter. Maybe that's kind of what I'm feeling too, is this suppression or this pent-up energy and longing for wholeness, holistic lifestyle, wholeness. But having the limited beliefs or limited, or like just trying to hold on to things or hold on to like family dynamics or family roles or these past lives or past versions of self and ways of relating to others, because those are, I mean, that's gone. You've been presented with the truth and the way people are and how they see you, in their, let's just say, laziness and their propensity to cheat and take from you. And you can try to maintain those relationships, but you're never gonna feel whole. You're always gonna feel drained and upset, like somebody's trying to take something, you know, you gotta like look over your shoulder kind of a thing. That's not a good feeling. But if we shatter those connections and shatter those illusions, and we can feel whole in our isolation, or like in a sense in and of ourselves, without having to base our identities and attachments in regards to relationships to other people and how we perform with them. There's just a couple of times during Thanksgiving in preparing a meal for family and the bids for connection and requesting for help that went unmet, the rejection, you know, henceforth felt, and the fakeness with the the hug. The number of times like I just wanted to put everything down, just set it all down and just be like, oh, okay, and walk away and just stop doing what I'm doing. So if people want it, they have to finish it themselves. Because why make and do all the hard work and do the things for people when they're just gonna walk out the door and try and talk shit and take something? Because they're cheaters. If you listen and you pick up on subtle cues, logic should come from the heart. True simplicity takes a lot of concentration. Find utopia in a straight line. Like if you're listening and you're paying attention, people will tell you their intentions. Know who you aren't. Find clarity in clutter. There's more than one way to read a map. And we're talking about these internal maps, right? Towards transformation. It'll be something more cohesive. Courage, consciousness, right? It's just gotta like it's just taking time. It's just taking a minute. That's fine. Unleash the beast within. Productivity, even in pajamas. Sketch boldly and paint with a big stick. Go far to go far. Exaggerate the subtle. Share the unseen. Only an outsider sees inward. Meaning doesn't come with titles. If fame finds you, keep working in spite of it. Chaos is handmade. Learn everything from nothing. Learn everything from no thing. Include yourself in your list of materials. Enroll in judo class. If nothing else, be prolific. Choose to have as many styles as you do lovers. Make something worth impersonating. And not cheating is really important here. And creating strong foundations. Never make an appearance without controversy. Tap the unconscious and pray it isn't boring. Being Dolly is inspiration enough. Like, being yourself should just be enough. Try to keep violence metaphorical. Adjust your eyes to darkness. A head on the shoulders is worth two in the hand. Don't fear pain. Art is an anesthetic. Do you like who you see in your petri dish? Become your paradigm. Don't hide your dirty sheets in the washer. Concentrate on finding, not losing yourself in art. Decay can be a fertilizer of new ideas. Unleash the beast within. Don't fear pain. Eat dessert before dinner. Give your 15 minutes some time. Wanting can be better than having. Wanting can be better than having. Especially in regards to cheating, this comes through in two different stories. There's the one of the dog with the steak that's walking by, and it sees its reflection in the water, and it mistakes it as another dog, and it drops the steak. You know, it thinks, oh, that dog is a bigger steak than mine, I'm going to take it. It drops the steak in the water, and then it jumps in, and then it realizes it lost everything because it was caught up in illusion. And the other one, too, there's like a midlife crisis story I was listening to that I put on Art in the Sex Scene, of like the guy, you know, who's been married for, you know, happily married for 20 plus years or whatever, and then one day, you know, this young lady starts hitting on him, and the attention feels really good, and he's been feeling unconfident about his body and blah blah blah, and he ends up like, you know, cheating, but it wasn't really cheating, but it was really cheating, and then just tries to justify this whole thing. And then realizes, you know, like as he's like in the midst of the act, oh, this is terrible, and this is horrible, this person is just like not good at this, and you know, my wife has been perfect at this, and like, you know, decides to stop partway through. And it's like, okay, go home, and then, you know, goes through this whole like debacle, just say in his own mind, you know, I didn't really enjoy it, so it wasn't really cheating, and you know, I had this revelation in the midst of it, so, but you know, no, really, it's, no. Your soul is composed of the same dots as the universe. Distinguish yourself from the mirror, from your mirror image. Show them your hallucinations. Let me go back into the gallery of hallucinations just for that, and we'll start wrapping this up. Again, I mean, if you're really listening, people will tell you exactly what they intend to do. Especially if you've known somebody long enough and you can recognize their patterns, and they'll tell you exactly what their intentions are. There's the lobby, like people exposing themselves. And maybe that's kind of what that elevator thing is. Like, if you're in an elevator, like a hidden secret, eventually it's going to land on a floor. And you can never really tell who's going to be on that floor when you do land. Sometimes you can get off in an elevator and then nobody's there, and then like you can get off scot-free. But sometimes you get off in an elevator and then everybody sees exactly what it is that you're doing, and they just kind of know without you having to say anything, without anything having to be said. No, do you have any other questions in this? The calling is coming through, breakthroughs to the calling, doing the self-repair, I mean, that kind of thing. I mean, that's a given. I mean, I don't feel like we really need to go into the details about that kind of stuff. You know, have a sweet day. That sounds me. Welcome to the Sweet Cafe. With me, Kelsey Sweet. The stupidest name. It's fine. It's growing on me. Stay fit, stay healthy. King of pleasure for seniors. Best and fresh. Drink more water. Deep in rock. Right? Just, I don't know, take some time to relax. Not take things so seriously and find a way to shift out of the paradigm. Is that what we're doing here? Is paradigm shifting? I mean, pretty much. Pointing to the points of no return. Creating the ceremony, mourning the losses, because I mean that's absolutely what's going to happen. And kind of these ideals that we've had of how things should be, it's just absolutely not at all. I'm out of this deck. Is there anything else I want to dive into? I mean, kind of yes, but kind of no. I would really like to do some personal readings. Participation. For breakthroughs. Because I feel a lot of people suppressing a lot. There's the miser again. There's that person. There's the thing that is there. And I just am curious and feel called to uncover some things. But without your participation, we can't figure that out. I think that has to do, there's awareness too, that has to do too with, if you know something hidden, or if you know a secret about something, you should probably tell somebody. Like that idea of, there's another one of those like art in the sex scene, controversial, whatever, video things of the woman who found out her pregnant friend's husband or whatever had cheated on her through like an OnlyFans something or whatever, and all the friends knew, everybody knew, but she didn't know, and then the friend was like, I'm gonna tell her, and everybody was like, no, wait until afterwards, and everybody's trying to figure out when the perfect timing, and like, but all these people know this horrible thing that happened, and nobody wants to tell the friend. The one person, like the one lady finally does and is very direct and tells the person what had happened. And then, you know, everyone's like, oh my god, why'd you do that? How dare you? Why would you be honest? And those, I just feel like there's a lot of those type of secrets that are out there where there's like this imbalance, injustice, or like energetic imbalance where people are holding on to this information where they know things that have been happening, but they're not telling the people. They're waiting for the people to find things out like the hard way or something. Instead of just like ripping the band-aid off and like getting to the point and exposing like the truth for what it is. Like people want to play in these illusions and these games. And projections is here, right? They want to project all this bullshit around you for control and compromise to suppress the truth. Like people are trying to be nice to try and distract you and get you to look away from what's really happening, because it's just what they've socially and classically been conditioned to do, to be lazy and to not take accountability. I mean, to have those kind of conversations, I mean, it's definitely intense. It's not that it's hard, or it's not that it's easy. I mean, those are judgments, those are projections. But the guilt is coming up. Maybe this is why people are holding on to secrets, is because of the guilt. Guilt and conditioning, again. We're trying to guilt people out of conditioning, or like, it's just like tearing at her. I mean, it'll keep eating at you, and it'll keep eating at you. And again, it's just kind of like that villainism coming into play, where people are suppressing their guilt so far to the point where they're becoming villainous. Trust the process, trust the fall. Point of no return. If you want to master something, trust that once you jump, once you commit, once you make that choice, once you change, once you go that direction, once you open that map, so to say, I don't know. I think you get it. Can we call it for the day? Do we need anything else? I have a little tiny deck. That one's been kind of bugging me. You can put Osho away. Let's see what comes up in the tiny cards. I think for the most part, it's just balancing out the conflicts or being prepared in such a way where we can prevent conflict from happening in the future. I know that seems rebellious, doesn't it? Like comparisons, traveling, politics, source, innocence, remaining creative, integrating things from a creative and innocent place, combining things in a friendly, worldly place. That's fine. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Thanks for jumping on. I'm preparing my own shifts, kind of redirections. I don't know, I'm hesitating, I guess, because it's just been a lot of work and it's been hard and I'm tired. I've just had a lot of different types of feedback, and I've just been in this place of wanting to shut out all of the things and all of the distractions so I can get a really clear picture and really clear vision on what's going on in my life and the balance that's coming into form. So I've been really, 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 really picky energetically lately, I guess, about where that energy is spent and where that energy is kind of displaced. Because I've been just very bound. I feel like there's just like a prevention, or just trying to prevent Cinderella keeps popping up into mind too. I keep circling this back to kind of my own hermitude and some of the experiences that I've been having and trying to get out of my hermitude and connecting with other people. And I'm just finding that there's just a lot of resistance. A lot of resistance to the participation or to connections, mostly from other people. Because it's like disconnecting from a power source, recalibrating everything, and then reconnecting into, say, the collective sphere, but the wiring is different, so people aren't able to access my energy ports, I guess, or there's no leaks or siphons. I don't know, I'm feeling it, and I'm feeling, maybe it's like every 7 years, like the 7-year cycles or something, you know, because I'm at the end of another 7-year cycle, beginning another chapter, another book, another story, in a 1 year at the beginning, at the foundation. I just keep getting this picture of moving away from the things that no longer serve, and no longer worrying, and no longer like having the attachments, or let's say the emotional attachments, or perhaps was once there before. I don't know. What a weird weird. I just feel really called to call people out on bullshit. There's justice. Or to just go beyond the illusions of things. Because there's the awareness again. Like, I can just see it. And I'm here for adventure, for going onto a new path, for starting and creating a new life and getting out of this, like, weird, schizophrenic, illusory, whatever thing, right? So that I can like go co-create something beautiful and experience happiness and safety and security. So that stupid fucking Cinderella thing. Like, why am I the one with the least amount of resources doing the most amount of work? And then people are taking advantage of that, and then devaluing. But in the moment, I value myself, say, and, you know, put a price tag on it. Then all of a sudden, some people have a huge problem with that. And those are the people that we cut out, right? Those are the people that are not allowed in. And it's just this thing of, like, I've just gone through so much in the last, like, 10, 15, 20 years, really, last 20, and even longer. And there've just been very few people there to help. I mean, it's been mostly conflict, people, like, just wishing I, you know, just, whatever, cease to exist. But then I find that in these moments, in these times, again, we're coming out of these liminal spaces and things are starting to work, and things go and they ebb and they flow, and, you know, it's all cyclical. And we're talking about transformation and things moving and shifting and changing, and things are good, things are bad, things are good, things are bad, and it's comparative in that, you know, if it takes shit to make bliss. I'm getting frustrated because there's like one specific person on my mind right now who is taking up way too much space in there right now. And usually when it's that like monkey chattery thing, it's because just picking up on them thinking about me. A master in a dream. We're gonna kind of hold it to the dream. And commit to it. And you know, there's going to be no going back. And we can let go of the way things have been. Assume rightful partnerships. Integrity comes to mind. Integrity partnerships, but also integral partnerships, but not this theme kind of wants to go in two different directions, because it wants to go into like this actual like exploitation kind of conversation sort of thing, or something about a second chakra energetics and like creative energetics, that idea phase. And then it wants to go into this so I've had a couple of requests about it, and talking about there's that schizophrenia thing. It's not schizophrenia, but the voices in your head, or like the different types of psychic information that comes through, and then how do you discern that information, especially in a world and like in a plane where there's no necessarily empirical support, and only say subjective experience. We're kind of buckling back to the last couple of weeks. No compromise is a good compromise. Blemished origins do not negate flawless conclusions. Become ill with unhealthy perfectionism. That's why I don't fucking feel good. That's why I haven't field well. I haven't field well lately because things aren't fucking perfect. Like obsessing on all these like little imperfections in my world. And it's like, well, if it's not perfect, I'm not doing it. If it's not perfect conditions, I'm not participating. If it's not, I'm not settling for less anymore. I'm not tolerating less than perfect. I've wasted a lot of time idealizing the imperfect and trying to force it into this like vision, into this dream, and it's just, but it's not perfect though. One lives many lives in a lifetime. A good idea deserves a good aphorism. You Vander, a pseudonym. Miles Vanderow. I want to look up when work and get off here, because it's already noon. When did they start? Let's do. I gotta double check this, because okay, aphorism. There we go, aphorism. A pithy observation that contains a general truth, such as, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right? Septic, heal thyself. Discipline is both a noun and a verb. When a stranger stares into your soul, do not press charges, stare back. Scratch at the surface until your fingers bleed. Meaning separates art from craft. Try something new, the old-fashioned way. Oh, that was that like analog versus technology thing at the beginning. Kind of doing things backwards like a lobster. Because we've outgrown things. Points of no return. I mean, once you get here, once you see it, there's no going back. And you can try to undo it, but it's already done. So good work can come from bad habits. Is there something else? I don't know. Yeah, always. Scandal before stardom, making it look easy is hard. May your bathroom humor leave a serious legacy. I just say, oh my god, it's not perfect. It's not even hard at all. Everything is just handed to you. You don't have to do anything. Yeah, easy for you to say. On the hunt for perfection, it's exhausting. Oh, maybe this is a good one. Maybe a good spot to end this. Nature can keep a secret. Keep Freud guessing. You can't run away from yourself, but running away from others can be quite productive. So all those weird little like Jezebel-y things that are trying to undermine your success because things are going well for you, and they're like envious of your perfection because they're just fucking lazy and don't want to do all the hard work themselves and would rather just manipulate somebody into doing things and having things handed to them. Then they go on and cry through and do the things or like lure things in through like let's say animosity. I'm also learning too that if things are going really well, things are going good, don't share that with people who don't like you or who are jealous schmucks, because they are going to do things to try and undermine that. Especially when you have something really good. When you have something perfect, someone always wants to come along and try to mess it up. Okay. On that note, forward march. Looking backward ensures a broken neck. Your art should wage war. The only constant will always be contradiction. So if this seemed contradictory in some sort of way, or seemed like another one of those Kelsey, what the fuck are you talking about kind of things, welcome to the land of confusion to bring you clarity. Convalescence lasts a lifetime. You don't spell painting without pain. Art is your most loyal companion. Externalize your internal work. So that's what I'm going to go do. I'm going to go tap into my inner Frida and take some of this angst, anger, aggravation, frustration, pain, all that, whatever that I've been feeling from this last week. Ugh. The imperfections. I'm gonna go alchemize it in something creative. In the meantime, call me. I feel like there's something else. You can reach out to me. You can message me. You can call me. Remote stuff right now is gonna be the easiest stuff for me. Getting me anywhere in person, face to face, right now almost feels impossible. And not that I don't want to be around people. Not that I don't want to connect. I'm just so far in the depths of this hermitude and this shift in life that again, in this kind of weird liminal space that I'd like to bring you into, but you have to do that side of the work. We're only going to do it if you're ready. A lot of people aren't ready for this, and that's okay. I'm working on the platform to make it more easily digestible. It's a lifetime's worth of work. So thanks for showing up. Thanks for being on the journey. Thanks for sticking with me. If you're new here, cool. Welcome in. If you've been here for a long time, you're following this journey with me, and you're keeping up, cool. There's that monkey chatter again. I don't know. I anticipate a lot more in the future. Things kind of coming forward, and so there's this I keep holding my breath, and I should probably stop holding my breath. This is the integral nature of things. Other issues would also benefit from rethinking. We need to re-examine the way our polemics conflate the history. Let's get into some. The laws of the universe do not discriminate between humans, animals, trees, wind, fire, water, stars, planets. In terms of its operation, all are radically equal, though not all are positioned identically within the whole, of which each is an intrinsic part. The idealizing of independence as a form of untrammeled sovereignty depends on the elevation of humans as superior to other species, and on arrogating to humans the right to control nature and any humans considered inferior for one or other alleged reason. Two ideas mutually reinforce each other. Disdain for those unable to manifest this fiction is an inevitable consequence. Witness the synonyms for the noun dependent and other to child or minor. These include puppet, follower, lackey, flunky, stooge, parasite, underling, hireling, bondsman, serf, slave, minion, vassal, servant, pensioner, grantee, and retainer. We have exalted a mode of being that is at odds with the preconditions of our existence. The independence, Diane has assumed priority over the a priori of interdependence. Accordingly, a life cycle characterized throughout by interdependence is mapped as a journey from dependence to independence, with a lamentable return to dependence in old age. The definition of dependence contains within it many clues about interdependence, but given the privileged status of independence, these simply become evidence of subordination, weakness, and inferiority. Restoring our awareness of interdependence involves a reorientation of being even more than of knowing. The sheer scale, scope, and complexity of the whole of which we are a minuscule part, puts paid to the idea that the world can be brought under some modicum of control by means of knowledge. We may strive to glimpse the various dimensions that constitute phenomena and even comprehend them to a degree more or less adequate to the task that we have set for ourselves, but such knowledge will by definition exclude much that in effect impinges on our concerns, but remains beyond our grasp, whether in terms of our comprehension or our capacity to perceive it. I'm giving you a ship. This is a ship. And you're like, oh, look, it's a cloud. We are not self-governing agents independent of others, but beings deeply enmeshed in relations of mutuality of which we are at any moment only partially aware. Acknowledging this leads one to discover the interdependence at the heart of all relationships and to rethink the notions of dependence and independence in light of this fact. Both terms assume a greater specificity. Additionally, it becomes possible to affirm the simultaneity of dependence, interdependence, and independence. For example, as one acknowledges the dependence of a baby on its mother or a patient in coma on its doctors and nurses, one remains aware that even here there are forms of giving and receiving, of energy, if not of goods and services, for which we do not as yet have language or proof, though experiential evidence of such reciprocity is abundantly available. Oh my God, we've been saying this whole reading, right? Likewise, as independence is shorn of its moral burden, its meaning is made more modest. It signals thinking or action free from coercion and interference through, not from, influence. This restores the distinction proper between the state of subordination or subjection, which is the effect of domination, and that of being subject to forces, factors, and processes, a condition intrinsic to our existence. The understanding of interdependence being advanced requires that we set aside a hierarchical ranking of life activity. We're not crabs in a bucket, people. And again, a lot of this is learning to think through integrity, because the number of people who are coerced or manipulated into something, or who are trying to like lure or do this weird domination through like material control or something like that, or trying to control or, you know, take control over another person's material world or something, or trying to fuck shit up or whatever. We want to feel like interfering relationships or something are coming into mind. Enables us to acknowledge differences in skills and in kinds of giving and receiving, even while equally valuing all. The false hierarchy and painful divide that currently prevails between those who supposedly give and those who supposedly receive is in the process dismantled. This year, thanks. I've been giving my energy away. Thanks, I gave it all to you. Next Thanksgiving, thanks receiving. Thanks, I'm going to be taking back what's mine. Thanks, I'm going to be receiving in exchange for what I'm putting out. Perhaps the most challenging issue posed by the shift in perspective suggested here is its implication for how we contemplate any action we undertake. Is what I'm doing good or bad? Is what I'm doing justified? Should I be doing this? Am I still gonna do it anyway, despite how I feel? Am I gonna whatever? What is your confidence? Is your confidence in your ability to be interdependent and autonomous, or is your confidence based on your ability to take somebody else's partner? We are accustomed to feeling that we can know enough to be able to predict the probable consequences of what we plan to do. That's pattern recognition, right? Conditioning to pattern recognition. This assures us in deciding upon a course of action. This relative certainty is made vulnerable by the idea that everything is the dependent effect of a dependent cause that is both itself the fruition of forces and processes, and the initiator of still other forces and processes. That's A, B, C. Antecedent behavior consequence. It's classical conditioning. It's how we all learn. It's how amoebas learn. It's how humans and birds and parakeets and fish and lizards and whatever, any living species learns through classical conditioning. To embrace this reality is to adopt a posture of open-minded modesty. We begin by accepting that we can never know it all. Thereafter, we develop a scrupulous and heightened attention to that which we know or can learn, and an openness to what may yet remain to be discovered. We cease striving for greater control over knowledge. Instead, we aspire to a flexible alertness so that we may take note of what is currently unintelligible to us, allowing it to gradually remake our framework or suggest a new synthesis as appropriate. That's neural networking. That is the neuro-linguistic programming. It's using words to create neural networks within the brain that shape our patterns of thinking, or shape our patterns of consciousness, perhaps, more so than just thinking, as it ties into our behaviors and our body as well. Our ability to, through our genetics, heal ourselves. Yep. The aim is not to abandon critical thinking, but to ensure that we can encounter people and phenomena in their fullness without our present convictions inhibiting this process from unfolding. Even when the consequence is to reaffirm our current sense of things, it is unlikely that it will not have left its mark upon us, that we will have been untouched. A dynamic interplay of self and other businesses, replaces an instrumentalist and consequent-driven mode of engaging the world. Doing things because it's right. Because of integrity, it's what you should do, not because of what you're going to get out of it. That's like coercive control, right? I'm going to try to take her man or I'm going to try to coerce her man out of here and control the situation because I need to do something to prove somehow that I'm worth more or better than because I can have what she has or something. Such an orientation is a logical outcropping of taking interdependence to heart. I'm reading you a poem and I'm done. If giving is the reciprocal flows. I think reciprocity is a really important word to put down. Acknowledging that flow state here, I think, is going to be really important. I'm just going to take down a note. All my pens disappear when I need them. Okay, reciprocal flows, and I'm turning this off. If giving is the onward movement of what has been bestowed upon us, who is the giver, who is the receiver, and what is the gift? Donor, recipient, charity, philanthropy, poorly express the reciprocal flows by which we are sustained. Okay. On that note, I'm done. Reach out, holler, have a good day. Maybe we'll do another coffee with Kelsey later this week. We'll see. Stay tuned. You can go to YouTube too. I've got them all saved there. I'll download this one and then put it on there too. Then you can just kind of scroll through and then gather information where you need. Book The Integral Nature of Things, Critical Reflections on the Present. Latamani. Okay, bye. Have a good day. See